Nonprofits are all about connection and engagement with your community, but most of them sleep on one of the easiest and best tools available in the market today, just email marketing. Social media reaches 6% of your audience on a good day, while email open rate for nonprofits in Canada sits on 57%. So the question is, are you showing up to your community as you should? If you want to change that, hi, my name is Bruna, and in this video, I'm going to show you how you can build an email strategy for your nonprofit, even if you're a team of one. You might be thinking, well, we already have a newsletter. You know, it's not huge, it's not great results, but we're not a store or someone who actually uses email marketing, because that's what email marketing is for, right? It's for selling products. And yeah, it could be used for that, but there are so many ways that you could use email marketing to build connections and long-lasting relationships with donors, board members, volunteers, supporters. But I know it's hard to imagine taking on more stuff because according to the Digital Marketing Sector Council, between 70 and 80% of marketing teams feel that they're stretched out too thin. When you have no more time to give, a good strategy and good systems are the best solutions for you. They will help you optimize your time and gain back some of it so you can actually focus your energy on really important tasks. Let's jump into the good stuff. Here's how you can optimize an email strategy for your nonprofit. The single most impactful thing that you can do for your email list today is stop sending the same email to everyone. Asking you from the bottom of my heart, stop sending the same email to every single person on your list. Think about who's on your email list right now. You might have donors, volunteers, event attendees, you might have board members, community members, your own team, your own regular staff. Each one of these groups of people have a different relationship with your organization and they care about different things. And sending them all the same newsletter, the same content is the same as leaving engagement and frankly donations on the table. Organizing your contacts into groups is called segmentation. You basically organize a big group of contacts into smaller contact groups based on your own criteria. And the best way to start is just go simple with it and start with yes or no questions. Are these people donors? If it's yes, they go into a donor group. If it's no, they go into a non-donor group. The important thing about segmentation is that you're putting your audience's interests, needs, wants, issues first when creating your content. You're sending them exactly what they want to hear from you. Here's a list of ideas of how you can segment your email list that you already have or one you might be starting soon. And there's actually more ideas in the State of Email Marketing Canada 2026, which is the largest Canadian report on email marketing you'll find. If you want to download and read the whole thing, the link will be in the description below. Now, someone has joined your list and they have been sent to the proper group thanks to your segmentation plan. Now, let's talk about what happens right after that. Right after someone joins your list. Most nonprofits don't do much. Maybe there's an automated thank you for subscribing message and then silence until the next newsletter goes out. That is a missed opportunity, like huge missed opportunity. Think about the last time you, as a person, sign up for a newsletter or you share your email with someone. Maybe because you were actually interested in their content or what their newsletter was about, or maybe you wanted to download a material that they have. I guess it's safe to say that you were very interested. You wanted that thing and you wanted it right now. And that thing that made you want to give them your contact information had just happened. There was something that clicked and made you think, wow, you know what? Yeah, here's my email. I want that. When people sign up to an email list, their interest is at its peak. So we as marketers have to come up with an action plan to enjoy that moment. And after working with email marketing for the best part of the last 5 to 7 years, I can say with full confidence that every single organization can and should have a welcome sequence. It's just 1 to 3 emails to try and keep the interest going for a little longer and make people engage with your organization when they're the most interested on it. The first email should be sent immediately. You can thank them for subscribing or sending the material they just wanted to download, and then set the expectations of what they'll receive next. If they're expecting a bi-weekly newsletter, weekly newsletter, monthly newsletter, and I always like to suggest to add a question and make people reply to you in the very first email. This is a tip to help you improve your sender's reputation, because when you have an email that people actually reply to, it shows to the ESPs, the email service providers, which are Gmail, Outlook, Yahoo, etc., that your email is reliable and and trustworthy. This is email 1. Now, email 2, you can send a couple of days afterwards, share your mission, and you can even highlight a key resource or material or event that you might have. The second email is where you're trying to establish a deeper connection and make sure that that curiosity and that first interest actually grows into something bigger. And then a few days later, you can send email number 3, where you ask them about themselves. You can ask them about their interests, how frequently they want to receive emails from you, any kind of information that would help you segment your list better. This is a great opportunity to grab first-party data, which is data that comes directly from your audience. And I'd say make this easy. This is a yes or no kind of thing. If you're using a tool like Cyberimpact where you have microsurveys and people can just click on the response, perfect. Make it easier for people to answer this so it doesn't feel like homework and you actually have that engagement. Hearing about the welcome sequence and the impact that it could have, sometimes we get excited about adding a lot of things and making longer emails and sharing a lot of information. When writing the emails to your welcome sequence, always have in mind what are the goals of each email. The first one is either a thank you or a delivery of a material and just establishing the first contact. The second one is an introduction, an attempt to create a deeper connection with your audience. And the third email is about them and collecting information that will make your next newsletter, your next content piece that you'll be sharing more interesting and engaging. And one of my favorite things about a welcome sequence is that it's something you can build once and leave it running for 3, 4, 6 months to a year before you actually have to make any changes to it. I do recommend that you review your welcome sequence in the beginning every couple of weeks, maybe every month, every quarter, to check the engagement level, the open rates, if people are unsubscribing or not. If it doesn't work out the first time, you can always adapt and edit it and learn from it. Welcome sequences are great, but you're not obligated to get it in the first try. You will have to make edits to it, but you will learn from this and improve with every single edit that you do. And it's never a bad idea to have more data and more information about your audience, how they use email, how they want to hear from you. There's a common fear that nonprofits share with every single industry out there, every single organization that we've seen when analyzing millions of emails from all over Canada. They're afraid of sending too many emails. But I'll tell you, the data from the State of Email Marketing in Canada says otherwise. Canadian organizations send an average of 34 emails per year. Let's say that's roughly 3 emails per month. When we look at the reasons why people unsubscribe from newsletters or email campaigns, only 15% of people said that they unsubscribed because they were getting too many emails. But over a third of the people who unsubscribed said that they did so because they were no longer interested. So unsubscribing and losing unsubscribers is not about volume at all. It's about relevancy. Think about your email marketing relationship with your list as any other relationship. If you're too vague and you're too distant, it just loses its spark. There's no connection being built over there. It feels like a stranger. And if it's too much, it might feel overwhelming and too clingy. And just like any other relationship, you have to read the signs. You have to use the information you have at hand. And no, it's not that easy to know exactly how often you should show up for your audience. It does require some testing and some adjusting, but most of the data that you need is already available to you with your analytics dashboard or with benchmarking reports like the State of Email that I was just talking about. And there's always an option to just ask your audience how often they'd like to hear from you. In the end, there's no magic answer on how often you should be sending emails, because you also have to account for your team's capabilities and workload. No marketing team does one channel at a time. The best tip that I can give to you and the best practice I've seen all around is consistency. If you promise a bi-weekly newsletter, deliver a bi-weekly newsletter. If you say you're going to send 1 email per week, send 1 email per week. But don't say you're contacting them every 2 weeks and then you just send 3 emails every week. That's how you lose trust with your audience. And email trust is just as hard to get back as human trust. So find a pace that works for you and your team, but don't be afraid to send too much. Find a pace that works for you, your organization, and your team that mixes both a regular newsletter, let's say bi-weekly, with automated sequences that won't take a lot of active effort and will still give you a lot of data that you can improve and will definitely boost your email performance, which means you can get more buy-in on investing more time on email and then doing some more active efforts like one-time campaigns or changing the newsletter or other initiatives you might want to do. Now, I mentioned engagement here and there, but let's talk specifically to clicks on emails, which is one of the most common metrics of engagements. So the national average is about 2.24%, but nonprofits are one of the top performing industries with click rate reaching almost 7% click rate. The most important thing to think about here is that not all of your emails will be about clicks. When you have emails that are focusing on driving donations, driving event attendees, registrations for a workshop or something like this, yes, clicks are very important because that's how you measure how people are engaging with what you said. And to get a good click rate, you have to follow some best practices. The most common mistake I see nonprofits making when they're trying to get more clicks out of their emails and newsletters is that they have too many links in the same email. If you're asking someone to share the story, donate here, get engaged, attend this event, you're asking too much of your audience all at once. Focus on the key action you like them to take after reading that email. But they're all important. How can I choose? You have to choose. They're not all that important. You have one goal there. You have something you want more than anything. Always know the goal of that email before you send it out. Give the most important thing on that email, either the piece of content, the call to action, whatever it is, the top spot on your email. That's where people should be focused their attention on. That's the first thing they should be seeing. Once you have that one goal, that one call to action to your email campaign, be directive about it. If you want people to donate, tell them this is where you donate. This is how you donate. This is how you support. This is where you can attend the event. Don't be afraid to add your call to actions and spread them out across the email, especially if you're giving different contacts and using different hooks to get the people to engage with that action. Make it clear what you're expecting of them and make it visible. Use buttons, drive attention. Don't try and bury the link. You don't have to be discreet about asking action from your community. More often than not, the community is interested in engaging, but they are not given the opportunity or they don't know how. And going back to that first tip that I gave you, segmentation. Asking donations from previous donors might be easier than asking from non-donors. They are in different moments in their relationship with your nonprofit. So the strategy to get donations from donors is actually somewhat different than the strategy for non-donors. So think about your goal and who is the best group within your email list that you could send this email to that will drive results. So see the importance of segmentation here. If you're looking for people to volunteer in an event, if you send this to a list of past volunteers, you're way more likely to drive those results you're looking for than if you send to a huge list of people, but the majority of that list is people that have just been interested, they've been to a past event, but they're not really engaged with you. Have one goal before you hit send. Be clear about it. Show people how they can take action and send it to the right audience. Finally, if you're a nonprofit operating in Canada, you have to follow CASL guidelines. CASL is the Canadian anti-spam legislation. And yes, as a nonprofit, you do fall under CASL, so you have to follow their guidelines. If you're a registered charity, other rules apply to you, and there's a link below that will explain a little bit more about this. We recommend that you consult a lawyer or a professional on this. This is in no means legal advice. What I will say about CASL is that it sounds terrifying and confusing and complicated, and it is not. Once you understand CASL and you have the right tools to help you maintain your compliancy, it's really easy. One of the foundations of CASL is that you cannot send a commercial electronic message, also known as an email or a text message, without someone's consent. And that consent can be express or implied. But it's very important that you keep track of express and implied consent to everyone in your list. And when you have a tool like Cyberimpact that helps you keep track of the consent type you have, the date of expiration of the consent if that applies, and the source of the consent, it is much easier to manage your list and avoid the hefty fees that come with breaking CASL. Have a look at the description below. There are several links here that will help you understand CASL. And if there's any questions whatsoever about this, the Cyberimpact team is an expert on CASL and we're happy to help you. So to summarize, what makes a good email marketing strategy for nonprofits? Number one, you're doing segmentation, which means you're organizing your contact list into groups, which helps improve your engagement and performance of your emails. Number two, you're using marketing automation to create automated sequences like a welcome sequence that will also drive a lot more results from your audience without you having to put in active work and overbear you with more tasks. Number three, you're being consistent. You're sending emails as often as you promise your audience. You're looking at your data, you're reviewing the information that you have, learning from it, and improving your strategy day by day. Number four, If you want people to take action, you're telling them how, when, and where to take that action. You're not overwhelming them with 10 links in the same email unless they're leading all to the same place. It is better to have one focus and a good strategy than to spread out a bunch of emails with a bunch of links and just cross your fingers and hope for the best. And number 5, you are compliant with CASL and all the other laws and legislations that you fall under so you can continue to be a good email marketer in Canada. If you want to learn more about email marketing in Canada, you can download the State of Email Marketing Canada 2026 report that will be in the description below. If you learned something from this video, consider subscribing to this channel where we share more tips on how to use email marketing to continue growing your organization in Canada. My name is Bruna, this is the Cyberimpact channel, and I'll see you in the next video. In the meantime, happy emailing.